Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Money Manziel MMA production. Boys, I'm pretty excited about this one. Obviously I say this like it's a series, but it's really the first time I've done it. We're doing an early in the week look for a pay-per-view into a card. I kind of call these the ball knowledge predictions and reviews and breakdowns of fights. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited about this. We got a good card, UFC 316. That's up on the docket. I think some people are upset because of, oh, it's not three title fights, and oh man, Kelvin Gastelum versus Joe Pyfer. How's that the featured fight? Man, be grateful for a pay per view card with names that you know in America. I think a lot of the fights are going to be exciting. I think fans are too greedy nowadays on pay per views. I think with Apex Fight Nights, I just made a rant about how fucking awful some of the Apex Fight Nights, so I'm not going to ever tell anyone that they're wrong about complaining about those cards. But, these cards are not that bad. I don't know what people expect. It's not like UFC 279 was a good pay-per-view. 279 was one of the worst of all time. I think fucking Chris Barnett was on the pay-per-view for that. Johnny Walker and Iwan Kutalaba was on the pay-per-view for that. So, I just think people need to be more mindful about kind of picking their spots when it comes to being greedy or not. Either way, first fight on the card. Killing Salkild, mate. Killing Salkild's gonna pop the fucking jab. I can't do a bedtime impression. He's too good at those. He is Australian, so it's not an accent. But ball knowledge, gun to my head. Who would I pick to win this fight? I'd pick Killing Salkild. Israel apparently has never had a professional combat world title win in any combat sport. Now, that doesn't mean that Yanal Ashmouz is bad. Yanal Ashmouz is going to make this competitive. He has decent wins. He beat Sam Patterson. He's a good grappler. But he's not going to be able to grapple with Killing Salkild. I think Salkild showed off a weird dimension of his game versus Anshul Jubli. Jubli did not redeem his chin, and he did not redeem that early stoppage that happened in that fight. Please, sir, please. Why would you do this? Why would you do this? But Killing Salkild, he's going to be about the same speed-wise with Yanal Ashmouz. I have not watched a lot of Yanal Ashmouz. I really have only watched this fight with Trevor Peek. But Salkild looked great grappling on the Contender Series. I think he's going to implement that here. If he wants to keep it standing, I like him to have an advantage. I think that's why he's such a big favorite. And yeah, I think Salkild wins this. My guess would be a decision. Maybe it gets scrappy for one round and Ashmouz takes a round off him, but I like a 29-28. Maybe one judge gives it a 30-27 here. Next up, Jeka Seregi versus Ju Sang Yo. First of all, I'm picking Ju Sang Yo, and I'm going to tell you why. And you're have to hear me out here. Jeka Seregi has a knockout loss to Anshul Jubli. Let that sit with you for a second. Let that sink in. If you get knocked out by Anshul Jubli, I don't care if it's the big 2021, 2022, the big 1995. I don't care if 30 years ago you got knocked out by Anshul Jubli. You need to retire from the sport of MMA. Anshul Jubli is the worst fighter that has ever touched the octagon. And he lost to him. He has another bad loss on his resume. I can't remember it off the top of my head. But I think he lost to Weston Wilson or something. Who also was dog shit. Only made it because he was Wonderboy's training partner. Either way, I know nothing about Ju Sang Yo because it's just ball knowledge right now. I haven't looked at his record. I haven't looked at the film, whatever. Seregi is not winning this fight. If you lose to Anshul Jubli, you will lose to absolutely anybody you fight. Next pick, we're going with Ju Sang Yo. Next up, final fight on the prelims, Wang Khan versus Ariana De Silva. Wang Khan, I think the jury's out on her a little bit. She had that great performance where she knocked out that girl in under a minute in her debut. But then, she got I think it was Victoria Leonardo. She got head kicked and then choked unconscious. It didn't look that good versus Bruna Brazil, I felt like at least. I I'm not sure about Wang Kong. Off the top of my head, 17-10 is an ugly record, so I would favor Wang Kong. I'd probably pick her, gun to my head right now. But I would need to look into this. I would not place a bet on Wang Kong, especially at minus 370. No chance. So we'll go with Wang Kong, but I really think people need to be hesitant about her as a prospect. Next up, Chaos Williams versus Uros Medic was the fight that was supposed to take place, but instead we get Chaos Williams versus the Swedish Uros Medic because Andreas Gustafsson looks just like any other bald guy, but just with a lot of fucking scary tattoos and a couple weird ones. I'm looking at it right now. He's got a bird, a weirdly inflated cross. He's got an anchor that kind of looks like Boba Fett's helmet. I think that's like a war thing. I'm not sure. And a smiley face. He's got a lot of weird ones. I say this lightly. I think Chaos Williams sucks, man. Go back and watch the Bonfim fight, and I'm partly saying this because I bet on him to beat Bonfim by KO. But watch that back, man. Chaos, like, when he wins, he lands a big clubbing right hand. It's like, oh, big shot from Chaos. This is why he's the knockout artist. Like, otherwise he's just sloppy and not that good. His grappling is dog shit. I don't know about. He would not have beat Uros Medic. I would have picked Medic all day in that fight. Gustafsson is also a sneaky underdog. I think he's not as good as people were hyping him up to be in the Giles fight that was supposed to take place. But at the same time, he could beat Chaos. I mean, Chaos isn't that good. I'll probably pick Chaos, gun to my head, because he's had way more experience with high level guys in the UFC. And I do like that he's coming back pretty fast. So, yeah, I'll go Chaos here, but again, a fight that I'm really hesitant on. Next up, a couple of fat boys, a couple of thick boys in the heavyweight division. Sergey Spivak doesn't get enough credit for being a blob. I think people don't understand. Sergey Spivak's most meaningful win where he actually looked good was Greg Hardy. He beat the shit out of Greg Hardy. That's the only guy he's ever beat the shit out of. Tibora had him in all sorts of trouble, and then he kind of spun into an armbar and got him. It was like a whole thing. But, man, this is so tough. Like, part of me thinks that Spivak is better than Cortez Acosta and that he's overrated, that his defensive grappling hasn't been checked, and that I know he struggles with leg kicks. But also, Cortez Acosta, like, really cares, you know? And he's a better striker. I think he's more powerful. Spivak quit versus Cyril Gane in France. If I had to put my money on someone who I think is going to come in there and want to win this fight more, I'd say Cortez Acosta. Because I think that he really wants to make a run at the title. I think Spivak has already been there and done that twice and has failed after like 2-fight win streaks both times. It's so tough. I think that line is going to get closer. Gun to my head, I'd take Waldo Cortez Acosta here as the underdog. Probably a boring decision. If there's a finish, it would be Cortez Acosta TKOing him. Probably on the ground with a reversal and a nasty ground and pound type of thing. That'll be my guess. But I'll take Waldo for the sake of it. Where's Waldo? He's right here. He's big and Dominican. Next up. This is a banger, actually. I don't think people realize this. Azamat Mirzakhanov versus Brenson Nabarro. When Mirzakhanov fought Menefield last, I believe. And he beat the shit out of Alonzo Menefield. I'm like nasally right now. Why am I nasally? He's 36 years old, though, man. Come on. He fights once every 2 years. He's going to beat the shit out of Brenson Nabarro. Brenson Nabarro is a dog shit chin. It's been tested a couple times and has not held up. Mirzakhanov hits hard as shit. I think more than likely, if he doesn't get him out of there in the first round, I could see Nabarro maybe making it happen, maybe hurting him. I'm not completely sure, but I would wager that Mirzakhanov hurts him early with something big and explosive and then knocks him out in the first round. I think this is actually a really good prelim fight. I think Mirzakhanov is going to KO Ribeiro. I think that's a fun one. And then you also have Spivak and Waldo, which is a fun one too. Final prelim fight, also a fun fight. So this is why I'm saying that people should be careful about making fun of these cards. Josh Fan and Bruno Silva, it's high level. I do not think that Josh Fan should be minus 650 versus ranked flyweights. Because his chin is obviously a question still. If Silva wants to come out there and grapple, then yeah, I could see why he's a big underdog, but he's a powerful striker. I mean, he really only lost him in El Comp because of nut shots. I mean, he still was losing. Don't get me wrong, he was still losing the fight. And we all love Josh Fan. I think Josh Fan wins a 30-27 here. I think he just pieces him up on the feet. Maybe he gives up the first round Piotr Jan style, but I like Josh Fan to get a 2-1 decision here, probably. That'll be my guess. Next up, first fight on the pay-per-view. Vicente Luque versus Kevin Holland. Ah, man, this line is bizarre to me. I know. Vicente Luque quit versus Joaquin Buckley. Jeff Neal beat the shit out of him. And if we're doing MMA math, Kevin Holland beat Jeff Neal way back in the day. But you can't pick Kevin Holland to win fights. I think Vicente Luque's riding real high on the hog. It's decently, not a quick turnaround, but it's good timing. December to June, I like that. For Vicente Luque, who's a guy that takes a lot of time between fights when he's losing. So when he beat Temba and didn't take any damage, I think you have to be getting some confidence. And Kevin Holland barely beat Gunnar Nelson. Like, barely beat Gunnar Nelson. He didn't even know when the scorecards were read if he was going to be the winner on that decision. So, gun to my head, I'd take Vicente Luque to choke Kevin Holland out. I think he gets him in a Darce. The Darce Knight rises. Or kind of a scrappy, holds him in the clinch for a while, kind of 29-28 decision. If Kevin Holland wins, it would be a KO. I don't think he's submitting Vicente Luque. People don't submit Vicente Luque. Kevin Holland could catch him with something. He's way more powerful Luque's powerful. Holland is a faster, better striker, but Luque's got the power. He's got the grappling. It is a really interesting matchup. And I think it's a fun one to open the pay-per-view. I probably like it in the spot it's in as well. So I'll take Vicente Luque, to be honest with you. Gun to my head. Next up, Mario Bautista and Patchy Mix. Hardcore MMA fans are going to be all on Patchy Mix because, Bautista, he's a terrorist, kill Mario Bautista. And I tweeted that. I tweeted that stuff also. I hate Mario Bautista for what he did to my King Jose Aldo. But, he's going to beat Patchy Mix. What, he KO'd one of his 2 KOs in his career was on Rafael Stotts. Guess who else has a KO over Rafael Stotts? I'll give you a second. Take a guess. Hey, guys, listen. Listen. Cody Garbrandt deserved title shot next. He very good fighter. He beat the guy. Yeah, guys, listen, please. Don't go, please listen. Marab has a KO over Rafael Stotts. So I'm not impressed by that. And Patchy mixes a grappler, and Bautista can grapple. Bautista's a way better striker. I bet he outworks him over 3 rounds, 30-27. Bellator guys continue to lose in 2025. That'll be my guess. Is that Patchy Mix beats him up. Or not Patchy Mix, sorry. Mario Bautista beats up Patchy Mix for all 15 minutes. And I think maybe changes people's minds. He does look 50 and ugly, though. The featured fight of this pay-per-view card. Kelvin Gastelum and Joe Pyfer. Kid, how do you not... What's the question? Yeah, you gotta be like Joe Pyfer. Kid. Joe Pyfer has all the racist, angry energy he needs to flatline this fat midget, Kelvin Gastelum. I don't know if midget's the politically correct term. The fat, short guy, and Kelvin Gastelum. I think if Joe Pyfer wants an easy method, he takes Gastelum down and submits him. Sean Brady did it. Pyfer can do it. They train together. And it's at 185. God knows if Gastelum makes this weight, by the way. We're going to see just how much of a fucking fridge this guy looks like. He would be a good 170. He'd be a good welterweight. Still small for welterweight. But he'd be a good welterweight. I just don't see a path to victory for Kelvin Gastelum. People are like, oh, he's going to break him. When has Kelvin Gastelum broke anybody, dude? He's a good gas tank, but it's not like he wins the later rounds of fights. He's just a good boxer with a good 1-2. He is nothing for Joe Pyfer. I don't even want to spend time with this. Joe Pyfer's going to knock him out in the first or second round. First or second minute is actually my guess. Co-main event. Juliana Pena and Kayla Harrison. This one is interesting to me. Because part of me is like, okay, Kayla Harrison, Olympic gold medalist, judoka, ran through Holly Holm and beat Ketlin Vieira pretty easily. Not easily, but you know what I mean? Like, she's minus 700. Juliana Pena sucks, and she does suck. I think Juliana Pena wins this fight. Now, hear me out. Hear me out on this. I'm not trying to be a hardcore here. Juliana Pena is so bad that, like, they're gonna. Oh, man. She might win, dude. I think Harrison mauls her the first round or two. I say round and a half. Harrison mauls her. Pena just survives and steals rounds 3, 4, 5. Wins a split decision, probably. And it's like scrappy back and forth. She probably is wearing the damage crazy on her face because she's terrible and doesn't know how to do anything in the sport. I think Pena wins a split decision. And I think plus 450 is a crazy line for a champion, no matter how good the challenger is. You just can't do that. We learned that with Merab and Umar. You cannot price champions at that high of an underdog. It just doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to go Juliana Pena. Obviously, don't be shocked if Harrison gets her out of there fast. Finally, Merab Dvalishvili versus Sean O'Malley. Yeah. Imagine not doing me and Marabi again, dude. I quit gooning. I quit the smoking weed, dude. I'm out in Montana with the Nelk boys, with Aiden Ross. I like Merab again in this. I just think that Merab is going to do the exact same thing he did last time. But I bet he does it better. I bet he sees the criticism that it was a close fight. He's trying to, like, gaslight Sean O'Malley right now in the fans. He's like, he was at that press conference. He's like, guys, Sean O'Malley, he beats 5 contender before this rematch, guys. You didn't see this, but he probably did this. He going to defend all my takedowns, and I'm going to knee him in thigh. He's going to knee him in the thigh for 25 minutes straight. People are going to remember how boring Merab is. He might emote a little bit, which would be cool. Sean O'Malley has a chance always. If he wants that knee up the middle, it's there, I'm sure. Merab's tiny. But I think Merab wins like a 49-46, not even close. It's like DDP and Strickland, where you knew the one guy was better, and then they go and prove it the second time after already winning the first time, you know? I think that's what's going to happen here. So, guys, that'll do it for my ball knowledge breakdown of UFC 316. Kind of an early look into the card and what I think. Hopefully, all the fights stay together this week. I don't want to have to do it again. But I think Thursday is when I'll drop kind of my last, like, okay, I've done the film study. This is who's winning. Blah, 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 blah. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're coming from my YouTube shorts or my TikTok, subscribe down below. Appreciate every single one of you that watches. Peace out.